Every wedding has a unique love story. How do you capture every unique story of a couple?
In the beginning, I would run around like a headless chicken trying to figure out that story, and it would drive me mad and I'd get very nervous. But over time, with experience comes the knowledge and confidence.
You're in love.
I am in love. I met Nikki at her sister's wedding.
Wow. The wedding filmer has found his love at a wedding.
At a wedding. Who would have thought?
Vishal, you have shot the country's biggest and the most high-profile weddings.
You've also worked with the Ambanis. That's no secret.
I have.
That's
yes.
I think you've done Isha's wedding.
I did Isha's, I did Shloka's. The good thing is doing it with Isha, for example. Isha really wanted it. She has a good aesthetic sense.
Yeah, she does.
She saw a film I had made.
Which one is it? Do you wanna?
I think it was Anushka and Virat.
Yeah, that's like my favorite.
To list all of them, let's see. I did Bipasha Basu's wedding. I did Dia Mirza's wedding. Then I did Virat Anushka's wedding.
Deepika
I did
Padukone.
Deepika Padukone's wedding.
That was Kiara Advani.
Kiara Advani's wedding. We did Rajkumar Rao's wedding.
Right.
We did Neha Kakkar's wedding. which
Oh,
was lots of
really?
fun.
Nice.
Have you ever encountered or witnessed something so scandalous on the wedding day?
Yeah, man. So at weddings, I get to hear the darnest things. I've seen affairs. I've seen hookups.
The bride and groom hooking up with someone else?
Yeah. I've seen mums having affairs. I've seen dads having
Mums
affairs.
and dads?
Yeah, you've seen death at the wedding.
Lady, love lingo, love lingo, love lingo, silly lady to love.
जिंदगी में मैंने हर किस्म की रिस्क ली है. गैम्बलिंग भी की है, कसीनो टर्किंग, फिल्म भी बनाई है, 20 समंदर डुबकी भी लगाई है, और जिससे प्यार भी करना था उससे इश्क लड़ाया है. हर किस्म की रिस्क ली है मैंने. हर चीज़ जो रिस्क के दायरे में आती है वो मैंने अपनाई. हर चीज़ जो माँ बाप ने मुझसे कहा था मत करो वो मैंने करी है. लेकिन एक चीज़ जो माँ बाप ने कहा था करो वो मैंने अब करी है. शादी. मेरे दिल से रही हो. तुम्हारे क्या हुआ शादी?
I was that small girl, that young little girl who imagined being married at 24, having 2 children at the age of 30. And my perception was marriage is the ticket to freedom and it is what will make me very independent. But as I started to grow, I realized that as much as it is important to have a union together, I realized that freedom can come from other places as well. And being independent can come from other places as well. But शादी तो खूबसूरत चीज़ होती है.
बिल्कुल. मेरा पता नहीं कि शादी होगी या नहीं होगी, लेकिन एक बात मुझे ज़रूर पता है. अगर शादी हुई तो उसकी फिल्मिंग कौन करेगा?
Are you talking about the wedding filmer?
How cute are you guys?
Today on Love Lingo, the podcast, we would like to discuss Shaadi Shenanigans with the wedding filmer. Vishal Punjabi is a pioneer. Vishal is a maverick. Vishal has transformed the art of wedding films into a veritable art form. Vishal has shot more wedding films than a pandit has performed pujas at a wedding.
So
Welcome, Vishal.
Thank you for that gorgeous introduction. I like the name. I like the title Love Lingo. Who came up with that?
I saw something which had love in it, and she brought
I think we came on that together. We arrived at the name together. She wanted something like love. And she said, I want to have like L and L, like, love with something with the same letter L. And then we sat and we brainstormed. And then
New age love language. The love.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we intended to go for. Vishal, if you remember, I don't know if you remember, that's the question. We met 10 years ago when we were wedding film shopping for my sister's wedding.
True.
Do you remember that?
I do. I vividly remember you. I remember talking to you at your sister's wedding. That changed my perspective on how women are brought up and what women aspire to be and how women find love and how women are strong and what they want. And you never left my brain. Like I always knew. Ursula Qureshi was this very powerful woman who made an impression on me when I spoke to her.
And you're just, oh my God,
You made it into the trailer. I remember.
Thank God I did. It was like
the debut.
Yeah.
I remember the line she said, I was born when you were born. And then you could realize how much a sister could love a sister.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't want to cry on the podcast, guys. I really do.
But I think you're allowed to do or feel it the way you want to feel in this space.
Really?
Yeah,
Is
yeah,
it this? Okay.
Yeah.
I remember you too, Vishal, because I remember walking into your office and saying, my God, this guy is so cool. And if you remember, I think you had an office in Andheri at summer.
Yes.
at the building, and I walked into your office, and something about you just stayed with me. You're so endearing, Vishal, and I think the fact that I can say I love about you is the fact that you stayed endearing. It's not that the success has gone, success does really show character, and I can see what you're made of, and I love what I see. And for you to stay so humble, yet be so prolific, and you're in demand from the world wants you, and you choose. Wow.
There you.
Incredible. Vishal, every wedding has a unique love story. How do you capture every unique story of a couple in its wedding? Like, what's your process, and what is that one thing that you look for? You're meeting new couples, you're meeting new families, but how do you capture that authentic moment in every love story?
Every movie has a one line.
Yes.
Every song is about something.
Right.
And therefore, every family has that one edge to them. There's always one thing special in everyone's story. And so my job is to find it. But in the beginning, I would run around like a headless chicken trying to figure out that story. And, it would drive me mad and I'd get very nervous. But over time, with experience comes the knowledge and confidence and data that you need to process all of this information and make sense of it. So I'll give you an example. Now, in India, for example, which is a very unique thing to India, is when somebody approaches you for a marriage video, a wedding video, they say, we want you to shoot it. Is it a love marriage or is it an arranged marriage? Straight away, you have a concept and idea. Are they conservative or are they liberal? Are they new age or, how many people are attending the wedding would give you a sense of who's hosting the wedding and why they're hosting it.
Right.
The purpose behind it. Because different people have different purposes behind getting married now.
Okay.
Some of it do it to the social status. Some of them do it for a yearning because they dreamt of doing it when they were 18 and had a scrapbook. Sometimes you'd be surprised the boys have dreamt of being a groom and dancing at their sangeet and having that barat. And,
wow.
So different people have different, some of them are obligated to do it because society says so. You have to find out why, and you have to find out who they truly are. Not everybody will spell it out and tell you. With doing 500 weddings, you kind of have a deep understanding of what they want to remember.
Right.
Which is my job.
Wow.
How do you find that space?
Yeah, that's like so cool.
That's navigating through their headspace and
going into their like visceral space and becoming like in their subconscious.
I believe I've expanded the company now, so I've got many more directors like me who are equally, if not more talented and more driven than I am. And I start off by telling them that you are not just a wedding videographer there or a film director there. You're a therapist at that point to the family and to the bride and groom. So right before the wedding, imagine there's so much going on. She's worried about how she looks. They're worried about the weather. They're worried about some guest not feeling well. The parents are getting anxious. And if it's an arranged marriage, then there's politics and drama between both the families. And suddenly, like when they talk to me before the wedding, they are reminded of why they're doing what they're doing themselves. It's not like I'm putting words in their mouth. They're just telling me their story. And in telling me their story and in opening up to me, they're realizing, because they end up saying nice things about each other. And I try and make them see the good in each other. The idea is this. When you spend on a lehenga or you spend on jewelry, you're spending on your money and you're putting aside, but resale value is kind of crap.
All right.
When you spend on a wedding film, the idea of it is that there's purpose to it. It brings both the families and the couple itself closer together.
Great. So, marriage is about union, about two people coming together, about promises, vows. Have you ever been in a situation where you have noticed or realized that the bride and groom are not in love?
Every once in a while I've done a wedding where a bride or a groom have really, really wanted to get married, but not necessarily known to who or why. And when it's happened so quickly that they've not have had the time
to process
it, and they've just gone ahead with it. There's also a lot, and this is the truth, there's a lot of burden, and I've seen this now, and I can confidently say that there's a lot of burden in general on Indian women. In some communities in India, there's a lot of pressure to be married before a certain age, because after a certain age, you're not eligible to be married anymore.
Wow.
So this still exists?
It still exists.
Because you're witnessing it firsthand.
And it exists. I mean, and sort of, in some cases it's bad, in some cases it's good, but these are subjective things.
Right.
I mean, I've seen situations like this, and I've seen couples actually find love like this. It's not that the parents want something bad. I guess they also don't know any different. I won't say better because
There's
it's hard to say that this is wrong and this is right. We were talking about that earlier, weren't we?
Yeah.
What is right for me is not is not right for someone else.
we also live in those gray spaces, right? And that's
So we can only hope everyone finds love in the end.
yeah.
But I mean, even the couples who are madly in love, sometimes they don't make it work. So who's to say? Who am I to judge?
Absolutely. It's just they're giving them a good experience, a good film.
You're in love.
I am in love.
And that's supposed to be the most exciting part of your life right now. We've caught you at a
is.
transition where you are in love.
It is.
And I think you're going to get married soon, if I'm right.
It is. I met Nikki at her sister's wedding
Oh, wow.
when I went to film it in London.
Oh,
Wow.
Look
The
who is
wedding
wearing-
filmer has found his love at a wedding.
At a wedding. Who would
Beautiful.
have thought? Yeah, knowing me, I wouldn't have done anything. We would have just gone there. And I was like, oh my God, she's so pretty. She's so nice. And we started talking and I really liked her. And I would have packed my bags and left and gone. But then I think her sisters, both the bride and her youngest sister, she's the middle one, they were my wingmen.
How sweet.
And they kind of made it happen. And I was always in this belief that I would never do long distance. Never say never, like you said.
yeah.
Because now she lives in London, I live in Bombay, and we're trying to make it work.
Wow.
And it's not easy, but
No.
it's
Yeah, it's an effort.
No, so how I found out, and I'll tell you this, is when I saw, I think, an cryptic Instagram post of yours. I don't know if it was cryptic, but you said, when you know, you know.
That's love. No,
Yeah.
when you know it's love.
Yeah.
When
When you know, you know.
Because, like, I've said these days, I will not do this, I will not do that, I will not marry somebody who doesn't align with my thoughts, I will not marry somebody who is like this. At the end of the day, none of that mattered. No, I met somebody who I like. She was
As much as you would.
complete polar opposite, different to me. She's vegetarian. She's highly spiritual and religious.
Wow.
She's a doctor and a double master's and like she's really intelligent. She lives in London.
And she's dropped it gorgeous.
She
I just saw her.
she's gorgeous and she's like
Just say she's gorgeous. No?
gorgeous. She's gorgeous. Not gorgeous. She's gorgeous.
Yeah.
And then to do all of this, and then there's me. So then you can set all of these rules and say I won't do
Absolutely.
this, I won't do that, and it doesn't matter at the end of the day. You can't decide these things. When it happens, it happens.
It
You know.
happens. So who was filming the wedding filmer on his wedding day?
My very hardworking and creative crew. They're amazing. They're the same people who built the company with me from day one.
Wow.
They're still there, doing what we do, and there's certain love that they have for what we do.
Right.
That keeps this going strong. I believe the new people who we've hired and the new blood we have, they're even better than I am because they're hungrier. They have so much more knowledge about technology today. I feel like I'm growing old,
No.
but they have the drive to build this and bring it bigger. So
I want to share this story about you. You wrote on a lark. You wrote to Shaadi Khan from Ghana.
from Ghana, from London. I was in London then.
You were in London. It was 2007 or
No, this was 1999, 2000 beginning.
Wow.
how? And you just wrote to him you idolized him. You wrote to him, and then you were appointed as a creative director of Red Chilies.
Well, at first I started off as the measly production boy who was doing visual effects. It was only after working my ass off starting from the absolute bottom at filmmaking that I climbed my way up to get to a stage where I could become a creative director. Well, he was a great mentor. I couldn't have asked for better because I didn't have a mentor when growing up. So I was very lost. My parents were very worried. What is going to become of this boy? I was the loose cannon. I was the creative one and nobody was creative in my family. Everybody was business. And I wanted to do something different. And I had very supportive parents, which was good. And then I came here and I worked my ass off. But at that time when you're young, you're very resilient, you're thick-skinned. I was just happy to be in where I was.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
And being mentored by Shah Rukh Khan.
nothing else mattered. Like,
Yeah,
it was
imagine your idol.
secondary.
You being mentored by your idol, and that's like wow. How many people get that?
Yeah, it was amazing. So food and sleep was not something I craved for. Working was what I wanted to do at the
Such a
time.
nice thing to say because, working is something you crave for and you got it from the most hardworking guy in town.
And everything else fell into place after.
So cool. Vishal, you have filmed the country's biggest and the most high-profile weddings, celebrities, industrialists, name it. What really goes behind keeping a secret wedding a secret and Can you tell us more about code names?
Hey, yo. Yeah, I mean, there are quite a few weddings I've done which I can never tell people I've done. But that's to each their own.
Right.
Weddings are very private affairs.
Absolutely.
So you have to keep them private if some people want them to. Some of them are dentists, some of them are lawyers, some of them weep in their films, some of them cry, some of them dance with their pot bellies and shaking it by the pool party, drinking beer. But then their jobs are very serious, They're allowed to let their hair loose. You can't then put these films on the internet. Celebrities, for example, some of them go through a lot of hate for no reason. Online, people just hide behind invisible walls and say whatever the fuck they want.
True.
But it's someone's wedding. They're also real people. They also have love. They also have families. They also
emotions.
They have emotions. And it's so easy for anybody to just say, it's rubbish.
Yeah.
Invisible and just...
You would say it to their face.
And have
We're not brought up like that as people, but behind the... So for that now, I actually support people who don't want to put their films online because I do understand why.
Right.
Code names are fun to come up with, yeah.
Right, specific one?
Right now on the wall there is King of the South, there is Prince of the North, there are a few.
You've also worked with the Ambanis. That's no secret.
I have.
Yes. I think you've done Isha's.
I did Isha's, I did Shloka's.
What was your experience like working with them?
It's amazing. No, you get to experience things you'll never experience. Come on, it's quite amazing. Deep down inside, they're just like you and me. They're lovely people. You always have these impressions, oh my God, are they going to take over the world? Are they do this? It's like, that's what people think.
Of course.
But then you meet they're nice people getting married there. They cry and they laugh and they eat and they drink and they dance.
They
and
want
they love
everyone
the people
else to be
around them.
happy.
They do their best.
Yeah.
I mean, I look at Shah Rukh Khan, right? Like, some people say, oh, he's egoistical, he's this. But I mean, I've worked with the man for 10 years. Everybody wants a piece of him. The people who work, people like me wanted a piece of him. His wife wants it. His people work. His secretary needs it. The people who are dependent on him do. The corporations who are hiring him do. The directors do. And he also wants some time for himself. His children do. So beyond the point, at some point, somewhere, somebody gets tied and somebody gets pulled in a direction he can't go to. And there's tension. But it's not someone's fault beyond the point. So I guess if you can navigate that, the good thing is doing it with Isha, for example. Isha really wanted it. She has a good aesthetic sense.
Yeah, she does.
She really knows what she wants. So she saw the film. She saw a film I had made.
Which one is it? Do you want to...
I think it was Anushka and Virat.
Yeah, that's my favorite. I think Virat and Anushka as a couple also, they're very real people. And that translates on camera. The authenticity and the way you've captured it also. It's just beautiful.
We just got really fortunate. I mean, they're amazing. It's not like I knew them from before.
You did?
I didn't. No, I didn't know them from before. Their wedding planners recommended me because the wedding planners are very dear friends of mine. They're in fact planning my own wedding.
Oh.
Tina and Saurabh from Shaadi squad.
Oh, nice.
Absolute fave. They're just amazing. Really, we've been doing work together from when they started. I think they kind of knew that, okay, if we come to Vishal, we'll make sure the wedding video is nice at least. So they came to me and we nailed it. It was them. They supported us wholeheartedly. It was a small wedding. It was very easy to film. It wasn't difficult.
Isha's?
No, this Virat and Anushka.
Oh, that was a beautiful wedding.
So Isha saw that and wanted it.
Yeah.
We'd obviously never done a wedding that scale before. It was the biggest wedding we'd ever seen. It was in multiple cities, multiple places, multiple countries. But stunning, and
Her aesthetics are on point.
her aesthetics, her mum, I think her dad, they know what they're doing.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. And
I even loved the Vipasha wedding. I thought that
was technically my first celebrity wedding.
Oh yeah, it was before Anushka.
It was before. It was way before. It was before everything.
Yeah.
I did, to list all of them, let's see. I did Bipasha Basu's wedding. I did Diya Mirza's wedding. Then I did Virat Anushka's wedding.
Deepika
I did
Padukone.
Deepika Padukone's wedding.
That was Kiara
We
Advani.
did Kiara Advani's wedding. We did Rajkumar Rao's wedding.
Right.
We did Neha Kakkar's wedding, which was lots of fun.
Nice.
Yeah, I should go back and watch it one.
yeah, I'm gonna look it up now.
So there
not
was
online,
one
no.
wedding I watched, recent one that I loved. Of course, I loved Anushka's wedding immensely, and Bipasha's wedding, because of the film. I liked how Bipasha came across as a bride, and she was so herself.
What do you think of the music of all of these films? 'Cause that's where the heart.
So exactly, coming to that. What is your process when it comes to making music for brides and grooms?
We've gone for so many weddings now, no? So you want to make music that doesn't exist. Because if it exists, then just use it. No? Like, what's the point?
Absolutely.
Like, find it, get permission, ask
Right.
people, get it done. If it played at the wedding, it's valid. You want to create music that doesn't exist for you to use in situations that you know will arise at a wedding. And also, like, what plays at a wedding? What language do they speak? What is the pace of the wedding? what was the mood of the wedding, how emotional or how fun or how young or how conservative or how liberal are they, how traditional or how modern was the wedding, and that would determine the sound that you go for. And you can get all of these answers by just keeping your ears open when you're doing
Wow.
it. I'll give you an example. I shot this wedding in Marrakesh last year, and the girl was Sikh, the boy was Greek.
Oh, Sikh and Greek. Nice combo.
So that was the song.
Oh,
Sikh the Greek. We made a song. and
really?
It's a smash hit for them. No,
Is
it's
it
not a song.
available on YouTube?
It is. I'll
Oh,
make it
wow.
right
Would
for
love
you.
to watch it.
Yeah, so it starts off really nice. We created this. There's a Waheguru chant that they had, and it ends with Sat Sri Akal, and he says Sat Sri Akal on the mic. And then so it's like scoring a movie. How do you score a movie? I score a wedding film the same way. We make the cut, and then we start scoring it, but based on what we need to hear and see and feel. And it takes months. It's not easy.
A recent thing happened that all of us witnessed because we're all on social media. We weren't invited to it, but I'm sure you were. Anant Ambani's pre-wedding celebration. Do you think that's going to become a trend? That
Pre-weddings are going to be a trend. That's what you remember.
pre-wedding celebration?
They've always been a trend, no?
Like in the like this?
But this, you could afford to do it. Why not?
Why not? Yeah, absolutely.
You have the
I'm just
space, you
saying,
have
now
the
it's
time, you have
gonna-
the thing. I want to
Yeah,
do
but
it for my girl if I
resources.
could do it. Why not?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
To each their own. No,
Absolutely. I loved it. I'm just saying, do you think it's going to become a trend?
it has become a trend, but it was always there. Like, I don't think they're doing something new. They did it for Akash Ambani. They did it for Isha Ambani. They had a pre-wedding in Udaipur, sorry. And then they had St. Moritz for Akash.
Okay.
And both, I was there for those, and I had a great time. So why would I say don't do it? Please
Of course do it. I mean,
Great
yeah, I
time.
enjoyed seeing it. I thought,
Take over
wow.
my Instagram whenever you want. It's all right.
Absolutely. It's about world domination, right? Wow. They just hit the right spot with everyone.
I guess we also so hungry for content, and we see it, and it's like, oh my god, everybody commentated on it. It was everywhere.
Yeah.
So
It was amazing. It was fresh. It was nice to watch.
yeah, one of these grooms had told me once that and I was also asking them, I was shocked at how much and the extent at which people go to have a wedding. Like this guy booked the whole hotel in Sofitel, Bali. They built a whole gurdwara almost at the beachfront. Like those epic sets, and they had 500 people coming from all over the world. They had the best booze and the best food and the best musicians and the best clothes. No stone unturned to have a wedding. Anybody would be impressed by that wedding. And I was like, why'd you do all this, man? Like you spent your whole, for someone, it's their whole life and more. For this 3 days, 5 days, 5 days, epic after party. So why? And he's like, this is my moment for my family to come together and have their Oscar night. They don't, because it's for them is to celebrate not just me, but everything they have ever done and everything they've ever wanted.
That's profound.
And so then it's like the grandfather was there and he was celebrated, and the father was there and he was celebrated, and because of these people are getting married now, and the bride's family was celebrated. So he's like, it's honoring everyone. It's not just for me and her, it's for everybody to celebrate and remember this time, create pictures, create videos, walk down the red carpet, have your eat the food, drink the champagne, and feel like Shah Rukh Khan that day.
Wow.
I was like, why the fuck not?
Oh,
If you
why
can't
not,
do it, why
man?
not? Yeah,
Of course.
makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense because what's really driving you is that one emotion of spreading joy and happiness, and why not do that for your family? And it's your day, but make it more inclusive.
I also think somehow weddings bring out the best in families also, the love that they have for each other. They might have kept it to themselves, and on that day, they kind of just, lavish each other with love.
Think about it. Wedding portraits you take, everyone looks beautiful. Yeah, I'm getting married now, so I keep having this discussion with my fiance, and she's always dreamt of having a wedding.
Oh, lovely.
She wants a haldi, and she wants the sangeet, and she wants the wedding. And when I think about it, I start getting sweats because I'm like, fuck, it's like a day in the office for me.
Oh, yeah.
So the trick is to do it in a way where
But
it
सुहागरात
doesn't
आपकी
feel.
होगी ना यार.
हाँ जी.
Day in the office होगा, सुहागरात तो आप ही मनाओगे ना. ये.
So how do you balance that?
Right.
Create a wedding that you really want to be at and not feel like you're at work. I'll tell you my favorite things about a Hindu wedding. When they're sitting at the mandap, in some cultures, the pandit will put the girl's heart on the boy's heart, the girl's hand on the boy's heart, and the boy's hand on the girl's heart, and they have to say something to each other and say a mantra. But then they're connected. I like the symbolism of that. I love sindoor,
I love sindoor
such
too.
a pretty thing.
Yeah,
Love
that's
it too.
I like the fire,
Yeah.
drama, and
love the fire.
and
Agni.
And they're just adding, so it's symbolic. Now you're adding fuel to the fire too.
Right.
You know, so they're all symbolic things we do.
Absolutely.
The nikah, my favorite part of it is when the Maulana at the end, you remember this from Fajr's wedding.
Your wedding, yeah.
The du'as they give.
Oh, wow.
Just the du'as, like the way they say them, it's almost like a chant.
Yes.
And they keep repeating them. It's almost like if we say it so often enough, it will come true.
Bring an affirmation, right?
And that affirmation and those du'as, every time it happens, I get goosebumps.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sikh weddings, when the ardas happens and when they sit down there and they enter and they do the ardas and the palli and both the fathers stand, and there's beauty in that. And there's a lot of sweetness in that prasad they give it yet.
Of course.
Christian weddings? The walk-in?
The
bride?
walk-in.
Yes, the coming in of the bride.
You may kiss the bride, you get a kiss, you get the confetti, you get the vows, you get the ring, you get the veil opening.
Yeah.
There's so many beautiful
Have you ever
things.
done an atheist wedding? Like, do they get married?
Yeah.
What do they do?
Symbolism, light a candle, say a prayer to the universe, or sign a book and, put a picture up on a tree, let some birds fly, whatever you want to do.
Whatever you want.
Wow.
So all the beautiful people out there who get easily offended, we're not trying to say that you have to have a destination wedding. We're not even trying to say that you should get married. But we're trying to say that if you want to get married, preserving memories is not a bad thing. It means all the people who don't want to get married, hey, it's your choice. Live life the way you want. But love is a beautiful thing. And capture it the way you want. That's our message.
Well, Vishal, have you ever filmed a same-sex wedding?
I haven't, no, but I'll be shooting my first in November.
Oh, wow. Would you like to, are you excited about it?
They're beautiful. They're two boys. They're successful. They're from Delhi. Very handsome, very good looking, very tasteful. They obviously know what they want. They found me. They want me to come all the way from India to there to film
where?
it. I think New York, Mexico or somewhere like
nice.
that.
Okay.
So we're doing it with all our hearts.
What does love mean to you?
Choosing each other every day, even when you don't want to. There are days when you don't want to, but to have the strength and tolerance to be able to know that this time will pass and I still choose you. That is love. That comes very rare in people's lives. That you get from family.
Right.
You get from, like my mother has chosen me despite my stupidity, despite me running out of my house naked, saying, I don't want anything you've given me. Take all my clothes. And I was a 3-year-old boy and I left the house running
you
on the
serious?
street. She still loved me. She just tapped me on my face and brought me back home. After my divorce, after causing pain and after causing her hurt, and she still loves me. She doesn't judge me.
So we know weddings are sacred. They're spiritual, they're joyous. And then weddings are also sometimes mysterious. And a lot of times I feel like skeletons come out of the closet on the wedding day. Have you ever encountered or witnessed something so scandalous on the wedding day?
Yeah, man. I'm the videographer, right? So I get to see stuff. And people tell me things also. Like, I feel like I've got this face, or I don't know whether it's the voice or the face or what, but they just feel like they can tell me things.
Wow.
So at weddings, I get to hear the darnest things. I've seen affairs. I've seen hookups. I've seen.
Like the bride and groom hooking up with someone else?
Yeah. I had this very good-looking crew member. And like every wedding you go to, like all the girls would crush on him and oh my God, he's here. And you can see it.
Yeah.
And he also loves the attention. And he's suave boy and very sweet and very sexy.
Is he still there?
I had to fire him because you're so good.
Fired him.
I was like, let him go. Let's say let him go. He was just so good looking. It was a pain. So he'd go to this wedding. And one time the bride came up to him and held him by his neck at the after party after the wedding and said, if I wasn't married right now, I would peep you right now.
You had to beep that out?
I had to beep that out, but he did that, and she held him, and she was about to kiss him, and then the groom walks in, and there was a big showdown. And it was intense.
God.
Are you going to put that in your film? I'm sure you didn't. No, he is going to.
In the movie.
In the movie, in his film. The movie is making. Of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we've seen intense things. I've seen mums having affairs. I've seen dads having
Mums
affairs.
and dads.
I've seen like walkouts, and I've seen weddings always happened. But yeah, you've seen death at a wedding.
Now, this is something new. Again, like India comes up with the most interesting things, right? I read this somewhere. It says that you haven't been to India until you haven't been to an Indian wedding. Now, there's this new platform where a tourist or a traveler who's coming to India can connect with a couple hosting a traditional wedding. So this is what it is. As a tourist, you go into India. Yes, you're going there for the cultural scene and to explore and understand the country and everything.
That's not cool.
That's
I've seen it.
yeah, and they can go as guests and participate in that wedding, and they have to pay an X amount of money to go and witness that. What is your take on that?
Dude, no, if you want to go to someone's wedding, be an actual guest. Don't pay to go to someone's
Got
wedding.
it.
Make the effort and make friends with an Indian who's getting married if you have to. Don't have to pay your way through
Got it.
cultural
Yeah,
experiences. I feel like these are things that should happen to you. So if you actively want to go to a wedding, then stand outside a bride's talk, stand outside the Sabyasachi store and make best friends with the next person who's coming.
Walks into the store, right?
And be like, I want to come to your wedding. I want to be your bridesmaid.
Hey,
So
you're getting married. Who are you wearing?
who am I wearing?
Yeah.
Probably wear Arjun Saluja. I'll probably wear a little bit of Manish Malhotra. I'll probably wear a little bit of something that me and my fiance designed. Arjun Saluja is my
And Nikki,
favorite.
what is Nikki gonna wear?
Antaragni. She'll also wear Arjun Saluja. She'll also
I
wear
love Antaragni.
Manish Malhotra, Antaragni. She'll also wear. I mean, that's more my style.
Yeah,
But
Antaragni.
Arjun Saluja is my absolute favorite designer in India. I just love his fabrics, his silhouettes. He's also a nice, genuinely nice guy who does fashion for the right reasons with the right people.
Like getting married for the right reasons.
Like getting married for the right reasons.
Vishal, before you wrap up, I would love to know if there's a book from your childhood that has stayed with you over the years and shaped your perspective.
Should I read that one?
Yeah, of course.
One is Atomic Habits that I've been reading. It's everybody's read it. Tiny Changes, Remarkable Results. I have an addiction to smoking, which is a terrible, terrible habit. As I'm growing older, I can see that it's taking away my energy levels. It's also very demotivating. As wonderful as it is, and as much as I love the act of smoking, it's also a bad thing. And I've been trying, and I've been really struggling for a long time now, for almost 20 years, in trying to quit. And I succeed, and then I fail, and I succeed, and I fail. It's a battle I have with myself. I feel like this is helping to some extent. I start reading it, and it gives me some perspective. I'm hoping I can use everything in it to finally quit. But I think this, with therapy, with self-control, with some kindness, would be able to help me stop what I do.
Okay.
Well, and also the fact that you've been so consistent. And it is about being
smoking,
at not just
Consistently not being able to
budding
quit.
away that habit. Yeah.
Zoya Factor is, I love Anuja Chauhan. I like all her books. This was my favorite of hers. I liked it so much that I wanted to make the film. So I went to Anuja as a young boy, and I said, I want to make your film, and I want Red Chillies, Shah Rukh's company, to produce it, and I want us to make it. And she gave me the rights without knowing her saying, and she gave me the transcript. I read the transcript, and I fell in love with it. I took it to Shah Rukh. I said, please, let's make it. He believed in it. He read it. He really liked it and said, okay, let's make it. Eventually, it never got made because of my deportation and all of those things. So I came back to India. I tried making it again and tried making it again. Finally, the budgets and the timing and all didn't work out with the producers. So I ended up directing a song in the film. In it.
What's the film called?
Zoya Factor.
Zoya Factor, right.
They made, so I just directed the song
Yeah.
for them because the producers were good friends. But this is a nice one, and I still like it because it's a fun book to read. Every time it just links to World Cup. That's fun. It's fun. It's
a fun read.
It's like a. I mean, they're all serious books and sweet books and intense books. So why not have fun in it?
Absolutely, I agree.
I mean, like rock.
Great.
And Anuja writes it really well. And I like her Indian twang to it. I like her Delhi. I like her Bombay. And I like exposure. And the Battle for Pitora is lots of fun. And they're like they're fun books and women-centric and cute. She was really cute. I used to have a huge crush on her growing up. And she was sweet. She was always like, I was very young and she was like, this woman would come in. But every time she'd come in, it's like,
That's
she's so
sweet.
cool. And she's still so amazing. Like, she's grown.
You've met her recently?
No, we just speak once in a while. But she does amazing work. She's still writing. She's leading Indian literature right now in India, like this with all of this. And she's amazing. She's made the most iconic ads India has ever seen. Ye Dil Mangi Mo, Ye Pyas Hai Badi. The Pinodino ads.
Behind it. Wow.
She is the lady behind them.
Nice. Anuja Chauhan.
Anuja Chauhan. She used to be queen of advertising at one point.
Through our foundation, Evolve, which is Every Voice on Love, we want to make these books accessible to underprivileged children, and we really want to foster their love for reading and nurture their imagination. So your recommendation means a lot to Love Lingo.
Oh, sweet.
Vishal, thank you so much for being here on Love Lingo, for inspiring us, for inspiring everybody else who's listening and watching and who are already planning their weddings, looking at you.
They
and-
forget that. What about the people who don't want to get married? Do you have a message for them?
Oh, yeah.
Find someone.
Find someone to get
Get a
married
dating
to.
app. I don't know. That dating apps work for some people. I've done about 10, 20 dating app ads.
Because I just feel like meeting you, I just want a wedding. I want to get married too, but that might not be the right reason. But yeah, still I'm leaning that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you give the right reasons.
Yeah, but everything
get
happens.
married.
Everything happens for the right reason. Marriage is, if you find the right person, only then marry. If you believe you can make it work, nobody knows for sure, right?
Nobody
but
knows.
you want to make it work.
Yeah.
For you to say, okay, if I want to make it, because this time will come when maybe the other person doesn't want to, you still have to want to.
Yeah.
And if you then want to make it work, then marry. Otherwise, don't.
Like just a roll of the dice, right? Marriage, a little bit. Huh?
Yeah, it is. Obviously, you're committing to be with one person. You don't know how people change. Now things may be great, but if you change countries, you change cities, you change careers, it may change your personality.
Right.
So if you change in the right direction and you choose each other every day, you should be okay.
Thank you.
I wish you all the
so
best.
much love and wish you all the best, man. You're getting married.
Thank
all
you.
the best. Good luck. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Love you.
Thank you.
Done.
Thank you.
Thank you. Really.
Thank you.
Had an amazing chat with you, Vishal. Thank you so much. Please follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and wherever you find your audio streaming. Don't forget to subscribe to us on YouTube. Thank you for watching another episode of Love Lingo. Hum hai rahi pyar ke. Hey, also, if you want to watch the behind the scenes from the Love Lingo studio, follow us on Instagram @Love Lingo. Thank you. Ciao.